What's it like to be on campus at a place where just so many few get to experience? We're with a group of students from some of India's top institutions who have been students on campus at Rashtrapati Bhawan. This is a recipe program that they've been part of for a week, and we're very lucky to have them join us now. Let's get started right away. You were speaking earlier about, what a great stroke of luck it was to be chosen for this. Could you believe it when you sort of heard that you were a part of the program? What was that moment like when you discovered you were going to be here?
Ma'am, as you said, I definitely felt one of the most luckiest person that you could feel like that day, because first of all I was not that aware of the program that has been already held for different NIT scholars and artists and innovators. So when something like this suddenly pops up, you are clueless, and to represent the institute itself has been a tremendous responsibility and a great pleasure and honor that I feel. To represent a single person, to represent a complete IIT itself is a great experience for me.
And it's quite unusual because, if you think of the institution that you come from, you guys are supposed to be the brightest. I've been reading some of the CVs, and from electronics, biochem to nanotechnology, words that I can't even pronounce, they're all there. What about for you? What's the one thing that's perhaps took you aback, like, ye bhi hota hai, like, wow?
I'm at the end of my PhD, and after the PhD I was clueless where to go. Whether I should go abroad for the postdoc, and whether I should go for the academia, or whether I should go for the R&D. So the NPL lab was the lab where the research which I did in my PhD, it was almost relevant. So even I asked the question, when there was a visit with the president, I asked, what is the future of the research scholar in India?
Have you made up your mind whether you're going abroad or staying here? Do you have an answer to that?
Obviously, I got the contacts from the NPL lab, and I would I'll apply over there.
That's really some luck. That's really some luck. Sir, if I can ask you, as someone who's been involved in stitching this whole program together, so there's, of course, this is quite interesting because it's not just a slice of life on what is Rashtrapati Bhawan all about, but someone who's sort of even getting more clarity on the road ahead for them. So how is the program designed?
They have been given exposure to different labs and, different industries here. But the main message from the president was actually brilliant, right? He wanted to get these kids somewhere working for the society, which is very much important. I mean, we are producing IITians, but if they are not working for the country, not working for the society.
Right. And do you believe, if I could ask you, do you believe that this is the kind of message that you will take back? Has this sort of is this what you're going to, one of the things that you're going to take back from here? How people like you, like I said, some of our brightest minds, can think about giving back?
Being present in the Rashtrapati Bhavan, being seated in the conference hall, across the round table with the President of India addressing us, this is the most or the highest form of honor that I can think of as a student.
Did you guys have to pinch yourself to say, is this happening? Are we here?
In fact, we couldn't have ever imagined this in our dreams, that we would be visiting Rashtrapati Bhavan as the President's guest.
Right.
We go back to our campuses, share our experiences with our campus colleagues, share our experiences with the people living across or surrounding the campuses, and try to
spread the message.
Right.
I want to contribute to the society more towards developing technical solutions using science to lift the standard of living of people in villages. And through this program, it is in Honorable President's mind, and he has successfully been able to convince it to us that you have witnessed a change inside Rashtrapati Bhavan, and it's your responsibility to take it outside the world, to every new person you interact with, to every new person you meet. It's your responsibility to empower him, to move him.
Right. I want to ask you, what was your experience like? Like the point that was being made earlier, that when you were sitting opposite the president, you're sitting opposite the president at a round table and having to pinch yourself to say, am I really here? What was that like? What was
It was unbelievable. I mean, to be actually sitting there, all of us students, and have the opportunity to meet the president and stay with him for like an hour almost. Even the most important people, the VVIPs, they probably get to meet him for minutes, and we had 1 hour of time allotted to us.
You are VVVIPs then, clearly.
And also, yesterday he spoke about the importance of research, and for me, I'm into basic sciences research. To be asked by the president to contribute our talents to improve the innovation and research in the country, there can be no bigger motivation than that. And if I take this message back to my institute, if all of us do that, sure, we can be surely a superpower in that case. And this is a big step towards that.
Right. You wanted to make it.
So one line that rings in my head, what the President said was that we have invested in you, that they have invested in us, and getting a chance to be a part of a prime institute in India is something not many of us get. And so the thing is that we always wonder that the country needs to change. But it is we who need to bring about this change, and that is, and in the room with the President, that is when the gravity of the whole concept hit us, and so we hope we can live up to the expectations.
But it wasn't just a 7-day break, that there was more that was expected. Yes, I'll just come to you. Yes, make it.
Ma'am, I would rather in fact want to even use this platform to even spread one of the most important things that he said about research is that with research, one of the important aspects that goes hand in hand is teaching. What India needs is quality teachers at this point of time, and he really meant. And what happens is normally when we focus on teaching, we might only talk about technical institutes, but teaching has to be improved right from the primary level. That mental block towards the taking up teaching as a profession only as a backup plan needs to be removed. It has to be taken up as in forefront as the main priority.
Because we haven't made teaching mainstream, and that's the point that you're making. Go ahead.
I am from IIT Guwahati, and I can sense the difficulties which the children over there are facing. Means the persons who are living in villages, they don't have technology, they don't have good primary education, also they don't have the transportation facility. So these are the basic problems which the villagers are facing. Like my campus is surrounded by more or less 6 villages. So there are no proper schooling. So we used to go there. We used to go in the villages, and there we generally provide them basic teaching. We also invite them to our institute also, and give them proper training. So like if we implement these type of models throughout our surroundings, then we can definitely improve the qualities.
Right. You wanted to make a point.
So I just want to add a little bit about what my friends have said over here. It's about teaching and research and development. So this is something which the President of India had emphasized. He spoke about how he visited China and saw the immense change that he saw in the infrastructure over there over the last 30 years, I think he said, and 23 years. So the point that he made over there was that development happens when you invest in research, and great research happens when you invest in teaching. So essentially we should all come back to the fact that in India, teaching is again a neglected profession, and that's something in which I want to work on.
Some of you have spoken on the fact that with great power comes great responsibility. You need to, that's been underscored. All of you, I'm sure, have worked very hard, are very bright, which is why you made it into India's top institutions, which is one big reason why you're here. And now, what are you going to do with the knowledge that you're given? What are you going to do with that experience?
Right, like the experience they have got, like in these 7 days visit, it's not only academia, they have gone to industry, they have gone to IT industries. So actually all doors are open to them.
But he is eager to contribute. In the sense, we realize that okay, there is something we can contribute, and we didn't realize it until we actually got there.
Just stepping back, stepping back for a moment, if I could ask you, for instance, what did you have in mind when you were chosen for this program and came here? Did you have what was the first thing that came to mind when you were sort of packing your bags for this? What were you thinking? What was the experience going to be like?
I was wondering if it's for us to contribute in terms of ideas, but when we got the schedule, it wasn't so. It was more of a visit. So all of us were wondering why is this program being organized. In fact, I asked the question to a lot of them, and they were like, we don't know. Like when people ask us, we're making up stories and telling them. So I think over the days we have come to realize, and it's for us to know how the Rashtrapati Bhawan is working, and the kind of initiatives that the officials at the top level are taking, and for these to flow down the hierarchy, and for us to be a part of them.
Given that you're representing institutions, your institutions, and of course large institutions too, I'm sure there are lots of envious colleagues and peers that you have who would really wish that they would be in your place. Yes.
Definitely, it is a very important thing to be a part of nation's first citizens' premises. As a part of a democratic nation, a normal citizen, if could be a part of this premier institute, definitely it shows the power of these premier institutes who can be the part of the Rashtrapati Bhawan.
Right.
And this because
all that hard work, once again, was not wasted. Right. It was totally worth it. I mean, there was this also that you got.
When we came to know about this program, there's some program is going on. Definitely, the first thing came in our mind was how the first citizen of the nation could call the normal persons like us. Definitely, the institutes whom we are representing is the cause by which we are here.
Right.
the real picture got clear on the last day when President addressed us, like why we are here, what is the real purpose. And before that we had like some idea why the things are going on. But the real purpose we got at the final address of Rashtrapati.
I see. So that really crystallized it for you. Okay, now someone said earlier about being treated like royalty, that of course you are the president's guests, you are VVVIPs as we've now decided, so you will be treated as royalty. But give us a sense of what that was like, to see what Rashtrapati Bhavan and in the lap of luxury and all that you only sort of see in pictures or television images and all of that and can't really fathom, and there you are and it's sort of yours for a week. What was that like?
First of all, our rooms. When we entered, I was like, okay.
One second.
Yeah, and then he showed, attendant showed us our room, then I was like, okay, whether shall I jump or shall I call my parent or call my friend or post an update on Facebook? I wasn't sure at all, so I took like 2 minutes. Okay, relax, calm down. Yeah, and then I just like asked them, okay, what are you guys thinking about the room, by the way?
But that is, you are right, because the whole institution, the campuses, everything about this is so overawing in a sense. It can be overwhelming. You're like, wow, you know, from the brief glimpses. Yes, you wanted to make a point.
Every place we visited, every person we met used to say this: you are President's special guest, you are our special, and we'll treat you with loyalty. Every person has a sense of loyalty towards us. And let it be International Yoga Day, or let it be the guard changing ceremony, second row or first row seats were always reserved for us.
Wow.
We were treated as VVVIPs.
Talk about red carpet.
Exactly.
Yeah. Red carpet treatment, yes.
Like, it's a very small thing to point out, but like even the smallest of the objects have emblem on them. Like even the spoons and the glasses, the coasters around, the notepads that we get. Like this itself says that how important we are. Right?
And you made a really interesting point actually. We all had a laugh about it when you said we don't know how we're going to go back to our lifestyle after
I
this.
don't know. I mean, this lifestyle changes, like we have been treated royalty. I don't know whether my mother would be able to
match up,
cope up with my tantrums.
I would like to make a point.
Sure.
So we mostly on weekends go to movie theaters to watch movies. Dear friends, we were screened a movie in the President's theater. So, so imagine we were sitting in the President's personal theater being treated as VVIPs and were screened a movie just specially for us. So,
what about you? You want to make a point?
Yeah, so I would just like to share an experience. Like when we were about to meet the President in the Cabinet's room, so our meeting was scheduled at around 1 o'clock. So we arrived there at 12 o'clock. There were lots of preparations. So we were seated around.
That's actually wonderful. Wonderful to know that people in India are respecting time. It's okay to be early.
Exactly. Actually, that's one of the points the President appreciated us. So we were seated according to our names, alphabetically. So I was the second guy. So
and he was second last.
Oh, okay.
So we were going through our notes and all what we were about to ask the President, and suddenly our coordinator ma'am from the Rashtrapati Bhavan itself, she came and told me, and Vishnu, you have been selected to present the bouquet to the President. So then I was like, okay, I need more than a pinch to convince me of that. So then, like before he came, like 5 minutes before that, his ADC, the AID camps, he announced the President of India. Then ma'am like, come, go. Then I presented it. I got a solo photo with him, and that's gonna be my WhatsApp DP for the rest of my life.
The one moment which I would like to share is on the first day we were having our cultural night over there, and me and my friend, we were standing there on the back side, and 3 tables were reserved. It was a reserved board, and we thought ki okay, officials will be coming and IIT Delhi directors and all the faculties.
Not for us.
Every time we are like, okay, leave the first 2 rows for the teachers and the directors, and then we are always going to sit on the back. But at that time, one ma'am came and she said ki, beta, why are you standing there? You are our guest of honor. These tables have been reserved only for you people. Then we were like, oh wow, we are sitting in the front row. Right. That was really a great experience.
Right, clearly memories and experiences that will be part of, you know, your autobiography is very firmly. Anyone who has not spoken and would like to say something? Anyone as part of this? Can we get the mic across there? Yeah, right here.
I would like to add that we was talking about research. I would like to say means our country is improving. I must say means from last 2 years I am seeing that the level of standard of research which was going on is definitely improving. And in fact we are trying hard, and we hope that we will make the dream of our president come true.
And that's quite encouraging, that despite everything People of your generation are still talking about research and about trying to do it here in India. That really is key. Sorry, I need you to get a mic.
I mean, I must say, research is nothing but research. Means it is research. Whatever you know, you go through it again and try to find out something like which will be benefited the society.
Right.
So that is the main point.
And not give up despite India and its image in the research world, and perhaps try and make a real difference to that. That's
the president also said that never be old.
Never be old. Okay.
Yes. So
always work. He said ki never be old, always work, and you will feel young, and the spark which is inside you, never let that go down.
I think that he sort of is an example that if you live by that, you can make it happen.
Yeah, like all have mentioned that what are the takeaways.
Yes.
On the lighter note, I want to mention that this has given me something to boast throughout my life. Like when I'll return to my college and I'll address my juniors, I would be saying in the middle of my sentence, sometime I will be saying, well, I was with the president last month and we were talking on. So they'll be like, what? So that's the thing that I'm taking away with all the things that have already been mentioned.
Right, from making WhatsApp pictures with the president for life to sort of making sure that everyone knows that you were here. We totally understand that. Yes, I'm totally running out of time, so I will be wrapping now. Yeah.
I've been asked earlier, like, what do you feel throughout your life, what this experience will hold the place in your life. So I was like, this is the story that you tell your grandkids every night to sleep till they like start screaming and shut up.
Yes, I'll give you the last word because I have to wrap.
Yeah, one of the most important thing, like I'm the junior, I'm the youngest among them. So one of the most important thing was I got to meet scholars from across the country. So they're all my seniors, postdoc, PhD scholars. Normally they are not so accessible in any institute. I got to talk freely to them. We lived together. We got to know each other so well. So that was one of the most memorable.
I think it's important to form these bonds. We will never laugh at this rate. Oh, really?
Just to add to his point, we are all from very different backgrounds as well. There is an electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, someone from chemistry, someone from biology. I mean, someone from biology, and then mathematics. So the whole thing, this is not a set. We won't find the setting anywhere else. We go to a conference, we'll be clustered. So we got to interact in a very informal setting. We got to know each other inside out. And also the program was also designed in such a way that there was something for everybody.
Right.
And we got to see what the other person does as well.
Absolutely.
Also, there is something like over here at Rashtrapati Bhavan, even Secretary Ma'am was telling that they are working with collaborations with different organizations and everything. Now we are over here, 18 minds from all across the country. We can always work in collaboration with each other since we know each other so well.
Right, that really is going to be key. And of course, like someone's been saying, the point that's been made earlier also, that there is of course great expectations after all of this. It wasn't just a party for a week, but there will be great expectations from all of you. But thank you so much for taking our time to speak to us today. You are the ones, of course, who are hopefully going to be making some change, some terrific, tangible changes to the India story. And thanks again for being with us today. It's a wrap on that note. Thanks so much.